Hello. Today I am doing a Mike Pence versus the vote on the 6th event chart. I'm using Mike Pence natal, and I'm using the 6th as an event on the outer. And basically, Mike Pence called the National Guard. Okay, and then we heard yesterday, 45 on a videotape said that he loved this great nation and he called the National Guard, and we all know that that's mortifyingly not true. Okay, so that's a really sad detail. But Mike Pence presided over a ceremonial reading of the electoral votes that was scheduled for 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I think we all knew that that was going to be a day of some epic magic that was going to be off the charts. Okay, and Wednesday night, a tweet went out condemning Pence for not participating in the coup attempt. After 4 years of deference to 45, he was surprised to find that Pence wasn't willing to go along with this newfound claim that he is, now assigned this position for some technicality. So he didn't get away with it. And will that lead Pence to provide him a pardon? I think that right now we are seeing the culmination of a pathological problem that was so highly self-destructive that he might have worked himself right out of a pardon too. Or in fact, he may have worked himself into the 25th Amendment. This is right now, I think that's the question we're all asking is, what is Pence going to do about this? The Capitol Police chief is being asked to resign due to his maybe potential lack of willingness to do his job on that day during this particular event. There was a breakdown in authority in some really purposeful ways. Okay. Then we pan forward, and Pence announced on January 7th, 2021, at 3:40 a.m. Thursday, that Joe Biden was in fact the elected president of the United States, that it was Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, the winners of the U.S. presidential election. During the time where they were actually reading of the votes, they were stormed and had to recess for 6 hours due to Trump supporters storming the Capitol building, which of course now they're saying was Antifa, which there is not a chance. They had Trump flags with them, they were Trump supporters. During the reading, the ceremonial reading, I want to remind you, and these lawyers, they are very well aware that this was a ceremonial reading. And I do feel that they were attempting to make it look like this was legal wrangling when there was no legal wrangling to be had. So I want to make that very clear, that the lie is the lie, and it is not, there is no way of making it the truth. Okay? And Ted Cruz and Paul Gossamer put up objections, and that took an additional amount of time. And the voting in the Senate broke down as this: 93-6 in the Senate that wanted to go along with the coup, and 121 of the 303 wanted to go along with the coup. So at this point, we still have 127 GOP members trying to tell us that this is a normal day in the park, and it is not. You do not overthrow your own government, and that is what they're attempting to do. And my additional question is, should they be charged with insurrection, sedition? I think that there's plenty of people right now that come to my mind that need to be hiding under their desk, and unlike Pence, who's hiding under his desk due to, obviously, his life was threatened yesterday, or on the 6th. I think people's political lives are in danger now. I think that anybody who was a major codependent factor in this situation can expect trouble. I think Lindsey Graham. I think Mitch McConnell, and on and on. And I realize that Mitch McConnell did the right thing by coming out and saying, yeah, he's the president. But he did a lot of things to obstruct justice. So my question is, how will Mike Pence take all of this in? Now, Mike Pence, look at his chart, was born June 7, 1959, and he is 61 years old. He was born in Columbus, Ohio. I used a birth time of high noon because right from the top, this is somebody who's high in government, and I've run into some interesting details on this particular reading. And basically, the outer charts, the two outers, are going to be the House and Senate votes as an event on the 6th, and the inner is Mike Pence, and we are just going to ask the cards, how does Mike Pence respond? Okay, so today I'm going to use the After Tarot because I just think it's inappropriate. It's a Rider-Waite, kind of an afterthought kind of thing, and so we're just going to use that to try to understand our Taroscope today. What a day the 6th was. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so we are looking at Mike Pence, that poor man. I mean, I think that he has some confusion and some things, and how he deals right now is important to the people of the United States. We don't need the message being that this particular set of things was an okay way to go. So we're cutting 1, 2, and we're using the After Tarot, and 3. Okay, and we start out with, oh wow, death as the foundation. And yeah, I think for Mike Pence, in a lot of ways, this is going to be kind of, this is like death to him. You know, he really isn't somebody who adjusts well to a lot of changes. I think that he's had some pretty good challenges in his energy in his life. So we will just carry forward. And in the house of the soul, the first house, he has Pluto, ruled by Leo. In some ways, he's saying, I am secrets, whether they're dark or not dark. He is secrets. He gets the Emperor, and I think that that's highly appropriate for this question. What's he going to do to Trump? What's he going to do to 45? And that's looming large on his mind, and rightfully so. I think that you have a relationship with anybody, and they do what took place on Wednesday the 6th. I think that you need to question everything you know about them, or everything you know about yourself. Why did you allow that to happen? Why did you allow yourself to get into a situation where clearly there was no exit for you that was safe? So, you know, his soul, you know, so that is his very first opening volley. Okay, in his second house, he has his part of fortune in Leo, and he has his north node in let's see, what is that? In Virgo, okay, and that's ruled by Venus. Okay, he gets the Chariot. Those details, he is looking them over now. There could be rapid transformation. Now, there are some things about Mike Pence that bother me in that sense, that he has an opposition in the first house, in that he gets false partnerships. He gets rejected and isolated, and that's been a long-term pattern for him, you know. And here we have the Emperor, okay, and this card is saying yes, that's what he does. And then you get this next card, the Chariot, rapid transformation, and his North Node. Is that him waking up to the reality that the details that basically he was never Trump's guy. He was always a convenience, and his particular highly silent style facilitated the codependency that was required for this presidency to do the things that it did. Okay, so that's in the second house of financial. Okay, rapid transformation. We are going to see some things, and you know, I think not having Mitch McConnell as the head of the Senate, as a minority leader, we are going to see rapid transformation. But is that enough? I mean, Mike Pence right now, I think, no matter what he does, he's in a heck of a lot of danger, because his boss, the Emperor, said, go out and harm him, okay? And, you know, boss being father in the House of Soul, saying, yeah, put out a hit and get that guy. You know, he's in danger, okay? He just is. He is in danger, and there could be a lot of changes. So that rapid transformation could be anything. There is a lot that could happen, and with that North Node right there, could be anything, okay? In the House of Information, he has Neptune in Capricorn, and basically that is ruled by Mercury. You know, it's going to be kind of a complex, he's going to have a hard time without support making decisions about what to do next. And he gets the Empress. It is pregnant with possibilities. Things could, in fact, come together in such a way that something new is born out of this. And I certainly hope so, because I think that Mike Pence honestly can't afford to turn his back on the people of the United States for the good of Donald Trump. I just don't think that he can, and I'm not sure he even wants to, but, you know, we don't know. Okay, and in the fourth house of Mother, he gets Jupiter in Scorpio. He's trying to expand the truth, and he struggles with moral judgments. He does have self-sabotage in this sense, okay? And he's got greed, okay? He has some issues here. How he sees things is that he sees things from the perspective of what is, like we all do, what is best for him. But right now, he's putting in a lot of hard work, and he is trying to figure out what he needs to do for himself, okay? Because really the guy is in some danger. In the fifth house, now there's where we're going to start seeing the energy of the actual 6th of January. That was, they were looking to aggressively create fairness, what they considered fairness. So they've got Mars in Libra. They wanted to aggressively create fairness and make it look pretty. Okay, and what Pence gets is, this is where his limitations are, in the house of Sun, the children, pets, the drama. I mean, Pence just somehow lacks effect. Okay, let's just face it. The guy lacks effect, and you know, I think that they thought that in that sense that for this particular drama that Pence was weak sauce, and they could just come in and run over the top of him, and they could bring on their Martian dance of fairness as they saw it, and make it look really pretty in the 5th house of the Sun, and they get the 6 of Wands. You know, they were looking to create action against the United States government, and that is just gobsmacking, just utterly gobsmacking. And in addition, that day was the Sun was in Capricorn on the ascendant. So, you know, very fated kind of day. It was basically you have on the outer, now in the 6th house of career, you've got a conjunction. You've got a Pluto-Saturn conjunction. You have a Sun-Mercury-Jupiter conjunction all together in the 6th house of career. So there was, and that is ruled by Mercury, they were absolutely looking to overthrow the government, whoever they were. This was in Capricorn. It was a cold-hearted, no, thank you, ma'am, we're overthrowing the United States government. And Pence got, he didn't have anything, but that's ruled by Mercury in his house of career. He gets the 4 of Swords. He was stabbed in the back, basically, you know, because the people who wanted to overthrow the government basically determined that Pence was going to be unable to stop them, and this was fairly well planned. So, you know, when you see a 4, you're talking structure. You know, the thought went in, lots of thought went into this, a lot of structure went into this event. So it was definitely a coup attempt. And as you can see, there's somebody lying on a almost like a coffin or a pedestal, and the swords are pointing down at them. I would substitute some of the big names that have participated in this coup attempt, and I think you're going to see some big names go down, and I think rightfully so. I think we cannot afford this type of politics. And I mean, 4 years and a pandemic, and could it have been any worse? I don't know. I don't know how that could have been. Okay, in the 7th house of partnerships, okay, it'll take some intervention for Pence, unfortunately, to understand the nature of what he has in front of him. He has his South Node in Pisces, so he has no place to hide. I mean, he doesn't always understand the unconscious, and he's always looking to escape the shadow. He gets the Thief card. Will they steal it from him? I'm kind of leaning over towards that they're not going to. This may require another method of addressing that Pence himself might be too fearful to actually even bother to do something with the situation that he finds himself in, and he's rejected and isolated and has a false sense of partnership. And that's going to be your Chiron in Aquarius, generally ruled by Venus in partnerships. And you've got on the outer for the event, you've got Venus in Aquarius. They wanted the collective to accept on the ascendant that this was, in fact, our fated way. And you know, how bizarre, okay? In the 8th house of death, birth, taxes, transformation, he gets moving on to calmer waters, okay? And he's got his South Node in Pisces, okay? And he doesn't know his from yours. He really has a hard time knowing kind of how to respond. And then we've got Neptune in Pisces for the outer. Yes, they were looking to come in this very saucy, wet way and take over government, the sedition process. There was a desire to take government in the 8th house of transformation, death, and rebirth. In the 9th house of higher learning, foreign, ruled by Jupiter, he gets the 9 of Swords. Right now, this is a nightmare for him. This is a what do they? Dark night of the soul. You know, he put in his 4 years. He tried to give his loyalty. I think that he did have some. Maybe Trump had some things on him that kept him from ever really being able to adequately express himself. And it's all coming home to roost now, okay? Now we get into the interesting part of his chart. Why it is that I'm leaning toward Pence and the question of the 25th and or the possible impeachment process beginning anew. In the 10th house, Pence gets Black Moon Lilith in Taurus. He is a shame. He feels a lot of shame, a lot of guilt. That's his need for his faith. That is where he gets his sustenance. He's in the highest office of the United States. I can see that he took office at age 57. And right now, if you look at his chart ever so carefully, and I'm going to show this to you because it is fascinating. If you look at this up here, this is the sun on the event point that was the actual 6th of January, okay? And why does that matter? Well, if you look at it, Pence has Sun in Taurus. I am going over the details, okay? On the 6th, his idea of what is government, what is listening, what is mother, what is love, what is understanding, was utterly shattered, okay? And he gets the heartbreak card. This was a day for him like no other, okay? So he gets the heartbreak card. In the 11th house of secrets, he has Moon in Gemini, ruled by Uranus, okay? Really sudden and unexpected. So his moon, so think about this, the moon from the point of view of the government, the moon in Taurus, comes in and says, now I'm going to come in and I'm going to go over the details and I'm going to tell you that the details need to be changed, okay? And then Pence comes in with Sun in Taurus and says, no, I'm going to tell you that the details cannot be changed. But as of age 61, you can see in his chart this conflict taking place. And he gets the hard work card, the 7 of Pentacles. Which tells me, no matter what, Pence in many ways is still indirectly a part of the problem, okay? We all have our good sides and our downsides, and I'm grateful to Pence for calling it not something he could change the formalities of, because he couldn't. But I think that he enabled Trump, and this card's saying he enabled Trump, okay? And so in the house of unseen, it is, he gets a conjunction of Venus, Mars, Uranus, okay? Ruled by Neptune in Cancer. So he's having a really high-end moral conflict with himself, because in a lot of ways, no matter what, Pence was standing in his own way the whole entire time. And on the 6th, the South Node is in Cancer. Kind of what they did, what it's already done to the people, to the heart of the people. We get this 8 of Swords being tied up. He's tied up by his own doings, and I think that that's pretty accurate. So I think what this reading is saying is, obviously we have rapid transformation, okay? I think we have judgment. Is that judgment of Pence? Is that judgment of the GOP? Is that judgment of Trump? Well, I think that at this point, I think it's going to be judgment of Pence, because I think that no matter what, If you look down on this card, the bodies are starting to kind of go into the boxes, okay? And I think up to and including Pence's. Excuse me. Excuse me. Anyway, Knight of Wands. Their action's going to be taken. And I think the action that we're going to see is an additional impeachment. I think that to the tarot card readers who called that that Pence isn't going to bring the charge, they're correct. That is correct. From what I can tell, Pence is kind of, in some regards, spineless when it comes to this situation. And as you can see in the Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, you know, the situation, the items have come and gone, and the decision is made. It's written, you know, he can't, this isn't going to continue, and it is going to go into an impeachment process. That would be this action card due to the divine discontent of the people and the hard work that we've all put in, and us being out in the cold. Something else has to happen, and our relationships need to be restored, and we need to be brought back to being the happy family. So, yeah, nope, Pence isn't gonna, I don't believe we're gonna see anything out of Pence that's gonna be actionable, unfortunately. Although I do think we are gonna see we're going to see an additional impeachment coming out of the situation, and I'm going to turn the laptop back around. And oops, I have this microphone. I'm using my. I got it to work a little better. I tell you, I've had more problems with my computer stuff. I think it's difficult to be 60 years old and decide that I want to play with technology. Quite frankly, but good news. Good news. I have a young person who podcasts, who lives in the community I live in, and he is going to come and he's going to show me how to use my GoPro camera, which I have, but I don't know how to use it, and my beautiful fancy microphone, which I have, and I don't know how to use it. So, with that, please do hit the like, share, and subscribe button, and do join myself and my lovely co-reader, Pearl Rowland, over on www.twiggie.com, where we provide astrology, tarot, and numerology readings, and a full array of reports in those same categories. So please do go check us out and see what you think. And I do thank you very much for joining me here today.